Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Hype Files podcast. This is episode 105. I'm your host Shannon, and I have a similar type of episode. I've had a few of the ladies on lately with sort of similar stories, some pro debuts. Really exciting episode. Third time I've had her on. It's our Kiwi that we're missing. She's gone, but she'll come back to us. It's IFBB Bikini Pro, Christel De Klerk. How are you, babe?
Hello. Hi. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. Can we just take a moment as well? 105, episode 105. I mean, girl, that is amazing. Can we just well done to you for that.
Thanks, babe. You're about 3% of the episodes as well, because it's our third one together. So it's really nice to have you on again. Thank you so much. I want to know, because it's just obviously New Year, Christmas, and all of that, and the summer holidays. Tell us where you are and what you're doing, because you left us for Australia, and we were just chatting before we jumped on the podcast.
Yeah.
But tell me where you are now. You're living in Dubai. Like, where are you? And you're enjoying the sunshine, and we're also jealous. Tell me about where you are and what you're doing.
Oh, my goodness, there's so much to tell. Truly, 2025 was a year of fire. But we'll get into that. I am in Dubai, of all places. Surprise! I've been so low key on basically everything that has happened because it feels like so much has happened. But we've moved to Dubai. I'm now here for a week and a half. So I got here last Monday. Moving here was not on the plans in 2025 at all. It wasn't even a blip. I thought that from New Zealand, we'll move to Australia, kind of go back and forth a little bit because we still have family in New Zealand and the business was there and everything. But I got really, really stuck in Australia because I was studying, I was working. So I ended up in a whole year basically never leaving. And I thought that I'd go more than that. But, you get busy. And then as the year went on, Paul, my husband, got some really cool opportunities here in Dubai, which has allowed him to basically pack up everything and come here. And financially, it's been a really cool, just different life and a different opportunity for him. So we're like, things like this come around once in a lifetime. And it's silly not to take everything, just jump in it, just experience it, because how many people can have that chance of being like, hey, I've moved there, I've lived there, I've discovered all the things. So we jumped into it. He moved here in September, so he's been here for a few months. I, after the show, came here for about 9 days, and that was my first time seeing Dubai for the first time ever, which was very cool. It was a cool little holiday. I had to go back to Australia because I had a hospital placement for 4 weeks. I've done that, spent Christmas with my parents. Paul was here, so he spent Christmas by himself. Poor guy, which is the first time that's ever happened. But listen, I had little treats delivered for him. I had him a little snack basket and everything. So he didn't have tiny little surprises. So that was a bunny trail. Anyway, yeah, and then just came here right before New Year's, so we were able to spend New Year's together. So, which was very cool. Being here for New Year's, our building is kind of, if the Burj Khalifa is kind of in the middle of Dubai, our building is like right across from it, but inland. And our building has got these 4 towers, and in the middle is just like this really big pool. And we were able to kind of book a table where you can see, like in between everything, you can see the Burj Khalifa. So we sat at the table and we could see the fireworks and everything, which is so cool. Oh, it was really, really cool. And then after all it was done, we could literally just go up the elevator and go straight to bed. Phenomenal. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at now. I'm still studying nursing, so I'll be completing the rest of my course online, which is really great because I can just log into Zoom meetings, which was what I've been doing for a lot of last year anyway. And then I still have to go back to Australia because I still have more placements and practical stuff that I have to go do. So I'll still go back and just finish that off. But then, yeah, who knows where this year is going to take us after that.
Oh, yeah. You just got to strap in and just see what happens.
Oh
Who
my goodness.
knows? Yeah.
Who knows? Which is
Oh,
kind of cool. Like it's fun. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of things that can go
mhm.
either way. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild, man. It's wild. There's life. But I'm not complaining. I am extremely grateful for it. It's really cool experiences. So, and being here for bodybuilding is for sure very cool.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. I was like, there is definitely such a big hub there. Like, there's a lot of pros that live there, and just people around and that kind of thing. Are you excited to get like amongst all of that when you sort of settle in?
Yeah, oh girl. So we were super lucky. There's a massive bodybuilders gym here, and they had a 6 year anniversary, and their memberships were on sale by 70%. Wow, wow. Thank you. So we signed up to that. Been training there for a few times, and it's crazy how big the gym is. There's three main rooms that each room is the size of a gym. Okay, it is. I took a video yesterday because I trained legs, and there's 3 rows of leg press. Like each row is probably 6 to 7 machines that is in a row, and there's 3 of them, and every single one is just a little different. You know, this angle is here, is a little bit more there, or it's have your pick. Literally have your pick. It's whack. It's wild. The guys moving to Australia, I thought the guys in Australia was big.
Yeah.
Um, I stand corrected moving here. I don't know how it's possible for humans to be so enormous. I literally walk there and there's these men that's, I don't know, they're 6'5". Some of them, I swear, are 7 foot. And I'm like, sir, what the hell? It's insane.
It's
The girls are beautiful. It's actually pretty cool because being in Dubai, you think it's a very Muslim country, so you think, oh, women, you know, you won't just kind of go in your gym close to a gym, maybe, if you don't know. But truly, it's nothing like that. Girls are completely normal. Like you wear whatever you want, you go to gym. There's no restrictions like that, which was cool because I've been very naive. Like I've never been to Dubai, I've never been to the Middle East, so I was very naive in that aspect, and I just didn't know what to expect. But that was pretty cool to come and discover as well.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an assumption you make, hey, and then it's like, oh no, it's
Mm.
actually it is quite like progressive and really, yeah, it's a lot different than what you would think. But it's so cool that you're there. Big jump because obviously Aussie's huge from Australia. Oh, sorry, from New Zealand. You go to Australia and it's like, oh, this is like so much fun. And then Dubai is like another level, like you're saying, and the Dubai
Yeah.
Pro is like one of my favorite pro shows. So yeah, so many things for you to look forward to this year coming up.
Yes. Yes. It really sucks with the Dubai Pro that they don't do female
I
divisions though.
know.
That was
Why? They
shocking when
will
I
one
found
day.
that
They
out.
will one day. One step at a
Hopefully.
time. Yeah.
I think they will. I
Yeah.
think they will because,
Yeah.
but fingers crossed for that because that show, the Dubai Pro for the men, in any way, if you win that show, you're automatically qualified for the Olympia as well. Just pretty cool. So, but looking forward to coming to it in any way and watching it. That would be amazing. So, and that's the other cool part about Dubai is that it's so central in the world. It's really easy to fly to places from here. Which as a pro, like as we know, if you're in Australia, New Zealand, I mean, you can still go, but it's like a thing. Like you're going for a while, and it's going to cost you a lot because it's a far way to travel, and because you go so far, you want to go for an extended amount of time to make it worth it. Otherwise, why even bother? So it can really be very, very costly. So from here, it's a bit more reachable to everything. I mean, Europe is right there, so that's really cool. I'm looking forward to that. Like, I'm very grateful for that. So that's pretty, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what comes of that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You never know. We'll get to sort of like your plans and your thoughts at the end. But if we go back a little bit, You and I did our
Yeah.
first episode on the, it was like episode 46. It was November 2023. And then the next one after that was episode 77, which is November 2024, exactly a full year. And then obviously now we're in January, but we're kind of doing like the next full year. So if anyone wants to know about Christel's like journey, you can kind of listen to those two for maybe the start bits of the journey. So now we're going to catch up on the last year. So first episode
Yes.
was your overall win. Second episode was your pro card win. And now
Yeah.
you've done your pro debut all back to back. So exciting. So
Oh my
tell us about
goodness.
how was your whole year? Like if you look back on the year, 2025,
Mm.
what are your thoughts on the year? Like what was it challenging? Was it good? Was it everything you wanted it to be? Like how was the year as sort of like a whole?
Right. Yeah, look, 2025 was very, very different. It was a big year for me. It really, because I started studying, so I started my course, I started at the end of 2024. So 25 was a full year of just studying. I was working, and of course, then I decided to prep as well because more is more, and I can't help myself. Um, it was a challenging year in a sense of just how much, but that was my own fault of how much I took on. I had a couple of flare-ups as well, so I had to manage just kind of getting on top of my health again. And as of course I got flare-ups because I just decided to like do everything, which is my own fault. But like, you get shaped through the fire, I suppose. So I wanted really much, I very much wanted to compete before New Zealand as well. I was hoping to do some more shows, but with those flare ups, they kind of just really pushed my timeline back. So I had to just focus on giving enough time to like heal up again, because it's not ideal to go and prep when everything, like when your health is not great. So it just because it is an inflammatory condition that I have. So and with prep, it can like stress and everything you put your body under, the mental stress and the physical stress can kind of
Yeah.
make that worse. So I had to push things back anyway, but it aligned perfectly to be able to do the New Zealand show. So it's really great that I was even able to compete that year. But yeah, it was a very, very busy year. And then leading into the show, because Paul left in September, so I had the last 2 months where I had like prepped by myself, which was fine. It was just different. I've never gone through like the tail end of prep all by myself. And there was definitely pros and cons to it because I suppose like you're all by yourself, so you just have your own thoughts and you're like, trying to competitor mindset and trying to like balance that. But then being by yourself, you can kind of just lock in, get work done, get study done, go train, go sleep. So in that aspect, it was helpful, but it was very different. We moved out of our apartment literally in peak week.
Oh,
So I was going into the show, packing up. It was a furnished apartment, so thankfully it was like basically just all of our personal things. But I had to go through that and pack up and move, drive stuff to my parents, just get rid of other things, um, which was so silly. Honestly, the timing of that was so silly, but we managed. You just get on with it.
yeah, absolutely. It's got to be done.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love it.
yeah. You do
Oh,
what you got to do. But yeah, not ideal situation, but it was interesting as well in this year. I think I was so locked in with my studies. I was focused on building that career. So with bodybuilding, I was still showing up. I was doing all of the things, but that was something that was very key. That was very different about the year because with the previous shows, bodybuilding would be point number one, right? And then everything else I'm kind of just doing behind that. Where last year was very different. There was, my focus was just on classes first, studying first, and then we'll go and do bodybuilding and prep or train and do all of it. Which is not ideal, I know, because we were kind of talking about this a little bit before. When you do bodybuilding, you have to cut sacrifices in other places. But you get it done. You do what you got to do. But it definitely, I can see the difference in the outcome of this year because my mind was just so split with everything else. which it is what it is. Like, life takes its cycles, but I think it was a good thing to go through that as well, and go through that experience and gain that experience of kind of how far can you push prep and how much can you add to prep and what is realistic and when are you just doing too much.
Yeah, because you hear people
Yeah.
all the time, don't they? Like, you hear a lot of people do study and work, or they've just had a kid, or like, there's so many things. You're like, how do you do it all? But do you feel like what did you sacrifice? Did you sacrifice maybe sleep, or did you sacrifice a little bit of prep, or like, did you what took the hit the most out of your life so that you could afford that time and energy to get everything done, do you think?
Honestly, sleep was a big part of it, which is not great because sleep is such a key point to make everything function. And I wish I was one of these people that can get by with 4 to 5 hours, but I cannot.
No.
So I think that was a really big thing, which has definitely impacted prep as well. But at the same time, prep was not hard. I stayed pretty lean going into the show anyway, or before starting prep. So that was helpful. So it wasn't a hard grind for me. Like, the body responded well, and it was 2025 was also a year where I feel like I finally learned not to manage stress, but be better at managing stress and better at managing my mindset. And I feel like that made such a huge difference for my prep and for the body to respond, because I wasn't in this heightened state all the time of just I was busy. I was spread really, really thin again across everything, but I was very calm at the same time. And I think that is probably the key thing that was able to get me to stage. Which I'm great. Yeah, like, you learn every year, you learn better and you get better and stuff. So I think that that made a big difference.
Yeah, do you think this just comes with time and like experience, or is it just something, or is there other things you're working on mentally, or is it just like, yeah, you just learn with every prep you go through, you get better at it kind of thing?
For sure. I mean, for sure, experience is definitely a thing. But for me, because how do I explain this? Um, I'm a very, like, kind of into myself person. And for me, the biggest thing that helped me to manage my mindset, manage stress, was to literally take all of these thoughts and find a way to organize them. And I know everybody talks about journaling and all of that. And I was always like, it always felt like a harder thing to do than what it is. To actually just sit down and write things felt like a very confronting thing to do, which is so silly when you just think about it objectively, because it really isn't. But you make things into bigger things in your mind, I swear. But actually coming over that hurdle and really just taking time to be alone and quiet and think through and actually process your thoughts. If you need to write them down, and just kind of sitting with all of those uncomfortable feelings and thoughts and stuff and processing them. That's, like, right there is the key. Just having that alone time, and really sitting inside of it and organizing your thoughts. I think that for me, in any way, that's the thing that helped me so much. Yeah, because I think you just get wrapped up in life, don't you? You run from this, you run from that, you run from this, and you don't actually process as you go, but your body still feels all of what's going on, and it still stores all of that stuff. And if you don't address it, then it just keeps building up.
Yes, not exact 100%. That's totally, I completely agree. It just organizes your brain as well. So if you do have a bit of anxiety, like I've got anxiety, so it just helps organize everything, just make you feel like you've got it out instead of just boiling up. But it's a really good idea. I think a lot of people could sort of take from that. We live in such a fast-paced world, and like everything's just instant and really quick, and all the time we're just doing things and notifications and just crap like that. So it's nice just to take a free second, and you learn more about yourself in those moments as well. Hey, it's kind of cool, like the good things and the bad things, and you can address either. So it's really good. I love that.
Yes, it really is true. Yes, you really do. And I think it's so easy to be so extremely hypercritical of ourselves, especially our community. This is literally what we do, is pick apart our bodies and be like, oh, this can be better and that can be better and blah, 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 blah. Um, And that really, I think, flows over into how we see ourselves and how we talk about ourselves as well, even in our mind and externally. And you can really become quite dark, if you go down that road. And that is so deeply unhelpful, because you'd never, ever speak to anyone else like we sometimes do to ourselves. And I think recognizing that and actually breaking that cycle as well, and be like, you know what? If anybody deserves to hear the good things that you would say to other people, it is yourself. So literally start treating yourself the way you treat other people, and recognize when you need a little bit of kindness, when you need a little bit of grace or rest, even. Literally being present in your body enough to know when you need rest is such a game changer, because again, like competitors, we're like, more's more. I need to push more cardio, less food, more this, more that. And your body can only take so much, quite literally.
No, that's such a good message. I think it's really, especially on the start of the year when everyone's like, fuck yeah, let's go. Like the calendar's out, and it is all, we've got to be all in, but it's just important to take a step as well. So really important. I kind of want to talk a little bit about your, I don't know, is it condition? I don't know what you call it, but let me talk a little bit about that, because I've been trying to read up about it and research it a little bit myself as well, because I was like, wonder what it is and what it does. But I just a little bit of a description I found was that it's a chronic inflammatory bowel disease. It's an IBD causing inflammation and ulcers in the innermost lining of the large intestine, or the colon, and the rectum, leading to symptoms that are like wild, crazy. I didn't want to put them all in here because people are like, oh, holy crap, does she go through that and prep? But it's wild, babe. So can you just tell us a little bit, like, how long have you dealt with that? And was this maybe last year, was this the hardest that you've gone through some flare-ups, or has it been worse before? Like, just give us a bit of context on how you've been managing this and how long for, maybe.
Good question. Yeah, well, okay, so I was diagnosed in 2016. So I've been with it for quite some time now. In 2020, so I started competing in 2021. In 2020, I had my biggest flare that I have had since, like, leading up and since then. I was in hospital like for quite a long time. I weighed what, 42 kilos after that. And so there was nothing to me, literally. But then after that, I started competing, and like that's helped me in a massive way for various like different reasons. There's the mindset aspect that came to it. There's the food aspect that came to it. I think the consistency of what we eat makes a big difference to it. And honestly, I eat the same food whether I'm in prep or off prep. Off prep, I'll go out and eat a little bit more fun things, which I'm finally at a place with the condition where I can tolerate pretty much anything, which is insane because it was not always like that. There was a period where I could literally stomach bone broth, and that's what I could eat. That's the only thing that wouldn't set me off. So to come from that to this place now where I'm pretty free with anything that I do is a really big thing. And you learn to manage for sure. But yeah, so it is a condition that is at the root inflammatory. So everything that I do in life, I always kind of think of it in that perspective, like what causes inflammation. So I do little protocols, like I don't really eat a lot of dairy. In fact, I eat hardly any dairy, to be honest, and now thinking about it. I eat very little gluten. Not that I don't eat it at all. I will. It's not something that's every day, but I will still have it, or like quite frequently, but I just make sure that it's not one of those little habits that you end up having it every single day or even twice a day, or, that kind of thing. The emotional side of it is a very, very big thing, which is quite amazing to me, that your emotions and stress and what's happening in your mind can affect your inflammatory response in such. So it's incredible, that link with cortisol and the mind gut connection, because it really is a big thing. And consistently every single time when I've had my flare-ups, it is when I've gone through a really big emotional thing, or I was very anxious, or I went through like all the things. So there's a massive correlation. So and throughout the preps, I've definitely gone through the mindset of balls to the wall. You give every single thing, you train as hard as you can. There is 100% and nothing less will do. I've been through that. I have paid very dear consequences for it, of pushing that hard. And now last year, I think I swayed a little bit too far to the other side, where I was a bit, not lenient, but a bit too relaxed in a sense. But then again, I was also just so like focused on so many things that I feel like I was probably falling in between things a little bit too much. But now I think I've come to a place where I understand that, yes, there is a place where we push and we grind and we give as much as what we can, but that it's so deeply important to be present in the body and recognize, okay, that is enough. It is also okay to rest, and resting and allowing that body to recover, because physically a body can't grow muscle in a state of inflammation. It just can't. So even on that perspective, if you understand that, then you realize giving it that rest is as important as eating your protein and lifting the weight. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's actually essential. It's not like just, oh, you should do it. It's essential, like it has to be done. You can't grow without rest. So it's important to know that. It's cool. It's cool how much you learn in bodybuilding too. Hey, and I think I know we talked about this, your condition and stuff like back and I think the first and maybe the second episode, but just to kind of like reiterate where you're at, and just like you've learned a lot and you've come a long way. It's just cool to see a bit of an update on that. But I think I did ask you this in one of the other episodes, but now that you've done your pro debut, do you feel like it does help with like your diet for prepping and stuff? Like it does force you to learn more because you have to prep and you have to worry about what you're eating for your bout. Like, does it kind of work hand in hand a little bit? Like they work together?
Yes, it for sure does. Now, this would be different for different people with this condition, because some can tolerate fiber less than others, as an example. Some can tolerate certain proteins more than others. It really just depends on their specific gut and how it digests. But for me, I think the food aspect of it, because it is so consistent every single day. It's like your body kind of just get used to those foods. So it really does help in that way. And that's why I say I eat the same stuff in off season and in prep. It's just more of it or less of it, truly. And I've gotten so used to it that it doesn't even bother me. I don't get bored of my food, because I actually genuinely love what I eat. And if we go on trips where we end up, I don't know, we're on holiday and you can't eat the same meals, I miss my routine. Like I look forward to going back and eating my chicken and rice.
Yes.
It's glorious. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, man. That's awesome. And it just means you're doing the right thing and you're in the right place, hey, because you're like, I miss it. I need to be back to. Whereas other people are like, oh, I'm so happy to have a break from all of that. And it's like, no, we want it. So it's really cool, man. Can we talk about your off season into this show? I want to talk about that, because like you looked amazing. You looked so good. I was like, I wonder how much everyone's changed and things like that. And I was like, first of all, the hair. I was like, who is this? And then the physique. I was like, she looks amazing. You've grown so much, and amazing while dealing with all of this. So what were you and Logan working in the off season, maybe, and like into this show? Were you guys building more? Everyone says upper glute. Was it upper glute, like delts? Like what were you guys working on sort of in the off season part of your 2025?
Right. Man, for me, so symmetry wise, I am okay. I just need more of everything everywhere. And that was definitely the case for last year. It's the case again for this year. But we genuinely, I was just trying to focus on overall size, overall legs. So yes, I'm kind of balanced top to bottom, but I always feel like I need more leg size. I need more glute size. You know what I mean? Every single bikini girl always does. So our focus was generally overall growth. And then really connecting with the exercises where my body, like where I can have that connection with it and genuinely feel like, yeah, this is the thing, that this is where I get a good pump. This is where I get, like, actually feel like it's proper engagement. So it was narrowing down to find those exercises that were like the money exercises for me, instead of just kind of blasting everything everywhere. Or just, what I mean is like doing junk exercises or junk volume, or just because everyone else is doing it, I'm doing it. So we're like, okay, well, let's narrow it down to what genuinely works for me. So that was really insightful and helpful. And now it's also, I think I fell kind of into the trap of doing too much volume instead of pulling it back. I feel like every bikini girl, we can very easily fall into that place where we just do like a million different exercises, you know, and so many sets and so many reps. And before you know it, you've done like, I don't know, 18 to 25 sets at the end of a workout, and you've been there for 2 hours, and that is not helpful. So yeah, pulling that back and being more focused and intentional with the selection, doing what, like getting done what we need to get done with this, and pushing hard, going after more weight instead of just more reps. Which is going to lead over into this year as well. I think it's very key for me, is just to be very much more intentional with how I set up my workouts, and going after like tension from weight instead of tension from volume.
Yeah.
So I think I'm now, and it depends on where you are in your journey as well. For a person that is more beginner, going after volume is better for them because they haven't quite learned how to handle heavy weight yet. So it's safer to be in the more volume, higher rep range, because they're going to get that stimulus anyway. And because they're fresh to bodybuilding or just the gym, maybe generally, they will get fantastic growth out of that. And it's key to recognize when it's time to shift over a little bit, because your body gets used to that way of training as well. And then you can shift over, and when you get more, like in your mind, you learn how to kind of push through that mental barrier that we all hit when we train, and you learn what that is and what it feels like to go past that, and how to control your body under strain, under pain. What is a good pain? What is not a good pain? Did I say that right? What is a good pain? Yeah, and what is not a good pain? And then you can focus on different ways. You know what I mean?
I totally get that, babe. And I think a lot of people are in that situation right now. That's why I'm so agreeing with you right now. And you said the right thing too, that it's not for everyone. Like, everyone's in a different place and has a different thing that they're working on. But there is a point where you kind of not graduate, but you kind of get past the point of doing a high volume for every exercise. Sometimes you need, okay, you're doing squats. Okay, let's see what our 2RM is, or let's see what our 4RM is, or leg press, or just something heavy compound. Like, every now and again, drop the reps and just like progressively overload all the way down, and just see what you've got. Because it's nice to do too. It makes you feel really badass.
Oh, it's the best feeling ever. Honestly, when you can move some heavy ass weight, and you're like, I did that.
With
So
excellent technique, because your technique's great, because you've done all this volume, so you're like perfect technique, and now you've got all this weight, and it's so fun. I love it so much. What are you doing in the gym? Like, what are your good lifts for your legs? So you said you're like refining everything a little bit more. What did you kind of like? What were maybe the top 3 or 4 favorites for building your legs and glutes? What have you been up to the most?
Split squat is, I feel like, such an underrated thing. So, and that can have various forms. Of course, there's the Bulgarian, whichever one. But then also, I really, really love going under a Smith, elevating. So if you're going to be in a lunge position, you elevate the front foot so that when you come down, you're stretching the glute out further in that bottom area. And then you're basically doing a little bit of a step up because your front foot is elevated. But because you're under a Smith as well, it forces you to keep your form basically where it is. And as you fail, you can easily kind of just hook it in, and you can really like push further into that failure area. So I feel like super, super underrated, and it's not talked about enough. Love that one. Of course, always a hip thrust. like, how can you not? It's always a staple. I also prefer doing that on a Smith over doing it on a machine. For me personally, I find that because I can adjust it so exactly with the bench and where it goes, I can nail where it needs to be. And because it's not on a bar, you can push that far, you can push heavy weight, and you're not struggling to balance it as much as what you would do with a free bar. Now, there is a place for sure for free bar and making the body work on those stabilizers. So there is for sure a place for that as well. Right now, I'm really loving the Smith and kind of working it on there. And it also helps me because I find with machines, like just the normal hip thrust machines, it's probably just me, but my lower back starts to hurt on them. And they end up being more quad focused than glute focused and ham focused anyway, which I know is a positioning thing, but I really struggle to nail my positioning on them because it's a machine and kind of forces you in a specific position. So that's why loving just doing it on a Smith, which means that I can be on a Smith for quite some time, and then the boys get really mad at me. But
They need more than one. They need two at every machine, like four or five at every single gym.
100%, 100%.
We all want them.
And then adductor, but now the adductor machine is for sure combining all the positions with it. So leaning forward, sitting straight back, and going as far back as possible. Some of them do not have an adjustable rest at the back, so you can't. But that is such a key. I feel like I can hit my upper glutes with a adductor machine way more than I can with a kickback. And with a kickback as well, you kind of tire out with that before you really hit that juicy like burn in the glute, where with an adductor you can just bust that bad boy out until you cannot anymore, where with a kickback you can't really do that as much. Still can do it, of course, but so yeah, that's what those three is like my juicy ones, and they're so simple. I mean, it's always the basics, isn't it?
And yeah, keep it simple, but throw a little split squat in there, ladies, and get under the Smith machine. Try it because you want to lift those glutes. You need them. But I was just thinking because like you train with Logan all the time, right? Now you won't be able to train with him as much. Is that going to be weird? What are you going to do?
I've had a little mini panic about this.
Oh no!
Because I've gotten so used to being under his watchful eye, and it's only been a year, but man, I got really, really spoiled with that. So this sucks from that perspective. But you got to do what you got to do. So we'll still I just have to adjust a little bit, and I feel like. I mean, I'm still new on the ground here. I'm trying to get to know people. I would like to find a trainer here, to just specifically train me, not coach me, but like a trainer in the gym. So we'll see. Hopefully I can find somebody because it's such a, I don't know, I'm very picky, but not in a mean way. It's just personalities that you gel with each other and you understand, yeah, they can read you, they can read your body, they know how far to push you and when not to pull back, because that's a very key thing for me as well. Like we were talking about that before. There is a place to, go balls to the wall, train as hard as you can, but then also not take it too far. And I need a trainer that understands that because we're here to stimulate, not annihilate. So I need somebody that understands that. And sometimes a lot of people are kind of in that, or a lot of bodybuilders, they are in that thing. I think, is it a male thing? I don't know, where they're just kill you. Like if you're not crawling out of the gym, we didn't do it right. I'm like, no, I've been there, I've done that, please, no.
So I want to see what you've made of it. They're like, what has this chick got? You want to be a bodybuilder? It's like, well, just the hell, I'm only a bikini athlete. I'm not a women's bodybuilder.
Yeah, and for sure. But
no, go for it. No, you go. Because I was going to change.
No. Oh, okay. No. Yeah, no. It's for, but yeah, but having that line of pushing hard enough where we're gonna build that muscle. So because even bikini girls, they train hard as hell, and they should. That is how we build muscle. We should train hard as hell. but like that line, what we were talking about, like not pushing it that far where your recovery is now suffering because of it, because that is overtraining. That is too far. There is actually a proper line. But yeah, but anyway, so that's wrapped up on that one.
I totally agree with you, babe. I can't wait to see what you do this year with your training and all the cool gyms you go to. I'm sure we'll see more on Instagram. But I want to talk about TOC. I want to talk about the show. I want to talk about the big show that you worked for. But before we get into that, you said that you were, and I've asked the other girls as well, like Emily, for example, she only did TOC, but you see a lot of pros, they prep and they do like a pro tour, you know, they do a couple of shows at once. And like you said, you were wanting to do that. And two-part question. What were the shows you were going to do? And then did it feel like a bit of a letdown to only do the one, or was it just good enough as it was?
Yeah, oh, that is such a good question. So, I wanted to go to America, of course. There was a show in San Diego, and then there was a show in Texas. I really wanted to do those two. And it also was a timing thing. It wasn't necessarily because those were my dream shows. It was a timing thing with my course, because there are practical things that I have to do with nursing. And it was trying to line up shows that kind of fell in proper times where I'm not like going through the hardest part of prep while I'm on placement, or, you know, travel times, and kind of just a year's calendar, which made it a little tricky. So I kind of had to just pick shows that lined up. But yeah, just doing the one, I would love to do more shows, because I feel like if you're going to go through the whole process of prep, it makes sense to do more than just one show. Because then you're like, you've done all of that, you've put all of that effort in, and then it's one day and then it's all done. You're like, oh, damn.
Yes, and you with the Olympia points, you have to get so many more points now. So there's no point just doing one, because you can't just win that and go. Not for most shows, so you kind of have to do more than one now, don't you? So I guess next time you might try to do the same thing, right? Like line a couple up at the same time.
Yes. So I actually finished my course mid next year. So after that, I can line up as much. You know, I have that freedom then to be able to do it. But yeah, we'll see. I don't have any shows lined up just yet in my mind, because there's, you know, I have to just go and do a proper build season. And I've competed every single year since I've started, which would be bizarre for me to not compete this year. It's so uneasy. I'm like, oh, like, how can I not? But it's just about like how much I can lock in and build that size that I need to be competitive against these girls, because they look incredible and they have this beautiful density. And actually just kind of to get to that level, it's just, I need a good kilo. I really do, like a good kilo of muscle at least. And that takes time. We all know it takes time to build muscle, annoyingly. So
it's kind of good to remember that, like, it goes so fast. For one, like a whole year will just go by and you'll be like, oh, next year's my turn again. So that's the first thing to remember. And then the other thing is, we always envision our next time on stage. Like, that's the whole thing we do. That's every time we go to the gym, every time we post, we're envisioning the next time we're on stage. But imagine if it was like a whole year in between. Like, you can't even think about how your physique might look with that extra year, because it's so much more time without any diet phase in the middle. So you would just look crazy. So it's kind of like, use that as our motivation. Plus, time goes so fast anyway. Plus, you'll be your nurse. You know, there's so many positives about taking that time off too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I'm so excited for you, babe. I also wanted to ask about, because I didn't know, I feel like for me it would be really hard. And I've asked the other girls as well leading into their debuts for TOC. But did you feel that pressure, you know, like the pro pressure? Did you feel like that from external people or from yourself? Like, did you feel like that weird, like, oh my God, this is my first one, pro debut, I have to win? Like, did you feel any of that?
Honestly, no. Because for me, I was trying very much to lean into that place. Like, this is your debut. We are allowed to be little babies. All right. This is the first show of being a pro. So I had zero expectation going into that show. I also didn't know how I would stack up against, because there were so many unknowns. There were so many of us that this was our pro debut. And then there was like a handful of like amazing caliber girls that have competed. I mean, even Alexandra was there, and we didn't know that she was going to be there for quite, like, that was like a little unknown that just suddenly popped up, which was so damn cool that she managed to do it as well. So there was no, I made it a point for myself to not have an expectation with this show, because literally show number one, all of these unknown variables, I just wanted to be there, show up, have fun with the day, kind of be surrounded, because we've all competed with each other before at some point, for the most part. And so it was backstage, kind of just like a bunch of friends coming together and hanging out, which was the coolest. It actually was such a fun show. It was so, because all the girls were so encouraging of each other, and we were just like, we'd step off stage and we'd be like, how was that for you? And like, how do you feel your posing went? Blah, blah, blah. And then we'd like kind of just like encourage each other and really hype each other up, which was just, I love that show turned out like this. To be like that supportive for the first pro debut, I feel like I couldn't have been luckier. So I think that was definitely the highlight for it for me, was just the camaraderie of everybody, and the community of it. That was phenomenal. I feel like I've gone off on a tangent. What was the original
I love the
question?
tangent. I'm enjoying the tangent. It's so good. I think it's a really cool way that New Zealand's represent New Zealand that way. Like, it's been such a good way for us
Yes.
to do our first Bikini Pro show for a long time, and everyone was like, everyone loved it. So it's so cool for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And the actual show itself was run so well. And it was pretty special, because the pros had like, we had our own room that was covered with mirrors and like good lighting. So we could all kind of hang out there, and we got these little goodie bags. And we got so many goodie bags actually, which was just made it so special. Like, we felt like we were being treated like VIPs, and it was different from the amateurs, like how we've competed before. And I think that was truly, that in itself was so cool as well. Like, you actually stepped into this whole new thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is how pros get treated. This is so cool.
I'm here now in the pro leagues. It's so good.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful show. It was, yeah, look, everyone, it's not a bad thing that I can say about it. I had so much fun. It was so calm as well. Like, everyone backstage as well, like, people were just, I think everyone was seasoned. So everybody kind of knew. We've all competed many times. So everyone was just kind of hanging out. They knew what to expect. They knew we were coming. And I think that created that cool vibe backstage as well, where we can still, they're in the zone and focused, but we can still have a chat and we have a little laugh, and then take a photo and stuff. So it was a great day. It was a really great day. I think as far as the pro debut, that was a great show to do.
Yes, best way to do it, back home on the home soil. But actually, speaking of you coming home for it, can we tell us about your peak week? Because when did you come home? Like, when were you coming back to New Zealand, and how was like Rego night, and like give us a bit of a peak week sort of insight.
Oh my goodness, man. So I landed on the Thursday. So yeah, a couple of days before, which is not ideal. It would have been better if I could have more time on the ground in New Zealand, but I mentioned this before, I had to move out of our apartment. So the last day we moved out of the apartment was that Wednesday. So that was the final day that I took stuff out. Slept in like a apartment, or not, like a little motel close to the airport for the following day. Prepped all the meals and everything. So basically took my meals with me on the plane. And knowing, and that's the good thing about going to New Zealand, like, you know where to go to get your stuff. It's this, you don't feel frazzled. You're like, oh my gosh, which store and blah, blah, blah. You just know exactly where to go for everything. So, but now this is the great thing about Logan as well. Peak week is a very cruisy week. There's nothing super special about it. There's nothing super different about it. It's literally just cruising into the show and trying to bring down as much stress as possible. Eating the exact same things. It's just nailing, okay, well, how many carbs do we need? How much water do we need? What is too much? That kind of thing, which he is great at, like, just having a look and kind of, and somehow knowing exactly what to do. I'll just do as you tell me. But yeah, so from that perspective, peak week is very cruisy. I didn't have any major issues with my body. It reacted the way it needed to. Grateful for that. Dear goodness, considering everything that was happening leading into it. Paul came back from Dubai on the Sunday. Yeah, so like this Sunday, just off that peak week. And so we had Monday and Tuesday and then moved out on Wednesday, flew to New Zealand on the Thursday. We were there for the Friday, so obviously Regos and everything was that Friday, which was really, really chill as well. But it was kind of cool because they got us up on the stage and like we all sat there in kind of a row and just, which was so different as well, like kind of being on a stage and then you have to go and sign the contract and you get the photo taken and you get a goodie bag there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, this is so different. So that in itself was a really cool experience as well. And then you finally see everybody that you're going to be up against, and like, oh, this is, obviously the list came out before, but like seeing them in flesh and stuff, I think I was fangirling, to be honest.
I love it. And tell us about the hair change too, because obviously we'll talk about the stage time and how you enjoyed like your routine and all of that, because obviously new posing routine. But when did the hair change come about? Because I think a lot of people hadn't really seen you yet, and when you got up there, it was like, oh, that's Christel up there, like what? And it looks amazing. When did you decide to do it? What happened?
Because this is so something I would do. I changed my hair color 2 weeks before show. Which again, it's dumb. Don't do that. But it worked out in my favor. I love my hair. I absolutely love my hair. It turned out fine, but it very well could not have. So please don't do that. I would not recommend. But I was like, I've been thinking about changing to brunette because I'm naturally a brunette anyway. So I've been thinking about doing that for a long time. And I just thought to myself, you know what? This is a perfect time, like, to draw a line in the sand, because from now on, every time when I see photos and I'm like, that's where the change happened. That was my first pro show, and that's when I changed my hair color and everything. And I'm like, so it just felt like it was a cool time to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what better time to change everything about you as your first pro show? Why not?
Moving house, new hair color, first pro show, like all the things at once. I love it. It's like you're just turning into a person, like butterfly,
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Right?
And did that change your like decision on your bikini color too? Because I was thinking about that when I was like, oh yeah, because you chose like a purpley, like a purpley, sort of, that was beautiful.
Yes.
Did you already decide that, or did the hair change? Like, what was your decisions on that?
No, so I wanted to go that color. So Jennifer Dory's suit was my inspiration for that color because I loved the way that looked on her, and I thought it was always such a pretty color. And I've kind of been trying to cycle through the colors, trying to find my theme, like my vibe. So it was time because I competed in red one for a few shows. And I do like red. I'll probably do that again. I do want to do a green as well again.
Yeah.
I don't know. But so yeah, I loved the purpley kind of purple basically the most. I feel like that was such a nice color on me. I really liked how it looked on my skin. So I definitely feel like that will probably make a comeback. But yeah, I saw the suit on Jen Dore and I'm like, man, I have to wear that. I have to.
And then it looked so good. I loved it with the hair and everything too. And we just hadn't seen you in that color. So I think everyone was expecting blonde with the red hair, but it was like, who is this chick? Wait, hold on a minute. Like, it was crazy. It was really cool. And then your glam was really nice and everything. So did you do your own makeup? Did you get someone to do it for you?
Yeah.
Tell me about the glam.
So I've always, every single show since I started competing, I've always done my own makeup. I've always done my own hair. Oh no, that's a lie. I've had my hair done by somebody else one time. But other than that, I've always done my own hair as well, which I just like having the control of it. Honestly, that is all it is. I just get to anxious, thinking like, oh, I have to be here with this time, and the show starts at that time, and blah blah blah. What if they run late? What if I run late? What if this happens? So I just always like to have that control. I know when am I going to wake up? It's a little bit of like a zoning in thing where you can just sit there, you can peacefully do your makeup, you can peacefully do your hair, and you're just kind of starting your day on a calm note. So, excuse me, I just did YouTube videos and taught myself how to do it. So I really like doing it myself. Yeah, even my heels. Oh my gosh, I need to get new heels. My heels are still the same heels that I competed in since 2022. Did I switch over to, yeah. So they've been coming with me for such a long time.
Crazy. Everyone thinks you need to buy new heels every year, but apparently you don't need to.
No, well, they're broken in, like they're
Yeah.
perfectly molded to my feet.
So why would you need to change them? Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
What about your tan? Do you do that yourself as well, or do you get that done?
Yes, actually,
Oh,
yeah. So I've got the DIY Pro Tan kit.
yeah.
So yeah, we used that, and I was very grateful to have my husband with me so he could help me, because it'd be kind of hard doing that yourself. But yeah, we did the tan ourselves, which I think is also, it's so stress free, because you just be there. You're in the comfort of your own room. You go to sleep, like there's no running around, and I think that's such a key for peak week. As much as possible, if you can do things yourself, it changes it so much.
It really does. Yeah, if it's your first show ever, maybe just do the bookings. But if it's like your second, third, fourth,
Yeah,
like start
yeah,
learning, because why not, But first time, maybe just do the book, like just to save yourself the trouble.
yeah,
Yeah, definitely worth
definitely.
learning. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that myself. I think I want to learn how to do it. So it's just, yeah, like you said, the morning's just like your own little zoning in day, and it's really nice. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
You've got Ree as your posing coach, I think, don't you?
Yes, I know her. Yes.
Love
Oh,
that.
it was such a good. She is honestly, you know what I love about her? Now I'm just gonna fangirl over Ree. Um, she is such a kind and gentle human, that her energy and what she brings when into those lessons, and her calming and grounded energy makes such a difference. I look forward to whenever I pose with her, because she just brings so much positivity, and she's so genuinely kind to her soul. I don't think that girl has got one bad bone in her entire body. And it's such a pleasure to work with her because of that, because she focuses on you and bringing out what your body naturally wants to do. Like, she looks at how you move, and she's like, I feel like your body wants to do this. Let's pull on that string. Let's see what we can bring out with that movement. I think that's what makes it so special with her as well, is that she's so focused on making you feel comfortable, like not forcing you to do things. Nobody ever forces anybody, but like bringing out your natural side, and then that makes your routine so uniquely you as well. And then you feel confident because you're like, oh, this feels normal to me. This is me. I'm not trying to pretend to be anything I'm not. So yeah, she's great. She is great. Can you tell that I love Brie?
And even better, this is coming out on Thursday, the 8th of January, which is her birthday. So that's even cuter. So happy birthday,
Oh,
Ree.
happy birthday to her.
Happy
That's
birthday.
true.
I know, she's 32, guys. She looks fucking insane. She's amazing. So good. But happy birthday, Ree. But I want to talk more about your posing, because you had to learn a new routine, and it was longer.
Yes.
You have a walk to the back and the front and everything and all the sass, and 45 seconds to a minute or something like that you get. So how was that? Was it like a little bit scary, like doing got to add the walk to the back in the routine and all that? Like what
Yeah.
what was maybe the hardest bit, and what did you enjoy about it?
Oh my gosh. It's for sure. It's so different, because I mean, as an amateur, it's real simple. Like, you hit it, you go. Pretty much. So this was for, and this is such a mindset thing as well. Is actually having that belief in yourself and having enough confidence in yourself that you bring that out and you allow yourself to flow and like show up and show, like, this is me. like, this is my good size, just look at me kind of thing, you know, like bringing out and having the confidence to bring that out, which is something that I definitely and deeply want to work on for this year. Like, that is a very, very big goal for me with this year, is bringing out that confidence and not stepping back and not feeling like, oh, you know. So that was, I think, the most challenging for me for last year as well, is actually just being that confident, and because I pose small, and Brie, bless her all the way, she was constantly like be bigger, like your chest up, your arms out, like be bigger, take your space. And I constantly kind of sank back into like being, I don't know, just being more shy and taking less space and all of that. So just, that's my goal, is stop that. Stop that. It's okay to take space up there and show up, like just own that stage. And it really comes, it's all mindset. But she sees that as well, and she really works on bringing that out. So, but that was for sure my biggest challenge with posing. The time thing, it is challenging finding a routine that feels natural to you, because you look at pros and they have such beautiful choreographed routines that almost sometimes look like they're dancing. It's incredible, and you're like, oh man, how do I get from over here to over there? It feels like a world apart. So it was a big adjustment to kind of step into that freedom, because you literally feel like you have all this freedom. You're like, oh, what do I do with it?
Filling up the time. I love it. That is
Yeah.
so good. Were you happy with your routine that you guys come up with, or were you like, I could do
Yes.
more, or were you pretty happy?
I'm very happy with what we did. I was annoyed with myself because I walked out and I had this little stumble with my first like coming out. But you know, it always happens. I try to kind of correct it and just keep going, and like, you know, just keep going on with the flow. I know that I can do better. I know that I can do so much better. Which is like, I need to work on myself and my how I see myself up there, and my own presentation of like mindset. But yeah, I feel like I can, but not saying that routine was bad. It was good for the level where it was, and I'm happy with what we presented on that level, and I'm excited to take it to the next level and make it better and just keep going.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. This is just the sport, isn't it? I'm happy, I'm proud, but never satisfied. That's what we always say. Eh? Like, yep, stoked, but there's more. So when are we going to be happy? But we're not. We just want to keep doing better. I love that, babe. I want to know when you got like called out, you know, and you're coming out on the stage, and you get to do your pro debut in New Zealand. And what was it? Was the crowd good? Like, give us the stage. Like, what were you seeing from, you know, like the athlete's view?
Yeah. Oh, I think the crowd was phenomenal. It was amazing just to hear the cheers, hear people call out your name. That was beautiful. It always is. It really, I think that is such a, in a sense, a humbling feeling as well, when you're up there and you hear somebody yell out your name and you're like, "Oh, bless you, thank you." Like, that means so much. So it's always such a beautiful thing, and it's really cool when the crowd kind of gets involved in it. I think it was so special as well how, like, you know, this is now time for the pros to come out, and you feel like you're part of that. And it feels like a special moment, like it feels different, and it was really cool. Being on the stage as well, like, I was so kind of calm throughout the whole prep leading into it, because I didn't have those expectations. I just wanted to get to the stage. Like, with everything that happened that year, my goal was just like, let's just bloody get there and actually just show up, and try to look as good as what we can while we're at it. So getting there and getting up there was the win for me in itself. And then being able to step up there against somebody like of Kate's caliber, of Jamie's caliber, of Alex, of all of them. Even Lily Kate, how incredible she has gone from her like turning pro to her first pro debut. Night and day what that girl's done, and then going to Hawaii, like, man, phenomenal. Well done to her. That was so good. Xian did incredible, looked amazing. Like, she is so beautiful, like such a beautiful bubbly physique. Her presentation is incredible. So actually just stepping up there against these girls and being part of their mix, amazing feeling. Like, what more do you want? It's just, it's not always about like coming first or winning it, but actually gaining all of these good, amazing things from the experience, learning from it, and then like, all right, how are we going to apply this? How are we going to shoot for higher next time?
Yeah, I love that so much. That's so cool. And it's so nice to be able to do it at home with the girls and everything as well. And like such a good result from you. And I wanted to know what you thought about your physique in the end, and it was hard work, but you looked freaking awesome. Ninth place, and it was a crazy, like you just did so well. And I just wanted to know what you thought of your physique and maybe what your feedback was. Did you get any feedback or did you just kind of like move on?
So more size. Always.
Oh, yes, of course.
Always.
Of course.
Always.
Damn it.
Story of my life. But yeah, look, conditioning was fine. Everything was fine. It's just like I needed more of it. And so, yeah, nothing really has changed for me as far as the feedback has gone. But I think it's so totally fair where I got placed. The girls they absolutely brought such a competitive lineup, which is, if you think about it, like this is the first pro show that we've had in so long in New Zealand. I think the last one 2022 or was it 21?
I think it was 21. I think it was, yeah, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, because Vivi won it and she did
Mhm.
the Olympia in 2022. So you're
Yeah.
right, it was 21. That is a long time.
Crazy.
So long. So I think for all of that to have this high level of turnout, the girls to be at this caliber, that is damn good. New Zealand is bringing it. It's pretty damn exciting that we've got another round of it this year, and hopefully some more pros coming out of the woodwork and doing it as well. Like, oh, I hope they do.
I think so.
Yeah, which as well, like for New Zealand to step up and do these pro shows, because it's literally so far at the back end of the world, it's overtaking Australia. Like Australia is not even putting in one bloody show. Come on, please, everybody's begging for it.
Yeah.
But I think it's so damn cool that Kiwis are putting it on, putting good shows on for like all the competitors. So, and to have 3 this year is wild. It's so cool, man.
Yeah. And obviously it was really good turnout for the last one because they're going to do it again. And so quickly they were like, it's only been a couple of months since you were up on the stage and they're like, yeah, we're going to do it again. So obviously it was a good turnout and maybe they know it's going to be even bigger again this year. So it will be. It couldn't be smaller. I can't imagine that. So
No,
no, not at all. We'll see what happens.
yeah,
So exciting.
for sure. I hope
You go,
no,
you go.
no, I hope that more Australians will go over and do it as well, because it's such a small, like it's a small hop. It's so easy. So I really hope that they see like the last one did so well. It went great, like, and that more would hop over and let's make the show as big as what we can, please.
I hope so. I want Kira Longmire to come over, and there's
I
like
know.
Florence
Yes.
Dessot, and I want all of them to come over and give it a go. And hopefully they will, because they've seen obviously Morgan and the other Aussie girls do it, and they might be like, oh,
Yeah.
can be done, and obviously everyone wants to battle Kate, everyone wants to take her out. So it's like, come and take her out then. Let's see.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
And no doubt she'll be back, so we'll see anyway. But I've got a few Instagram questions for you. There's a couple of interesting ones in here, so should we start on those?
Let's go.
So, okay, well, this one's obvious. We've just been chatting about it, but would you recommend TOC for other bikini pros? And there was a bikini pro that asked that, who I'll keep anonymous because she might be doing it, but would you recommend?
For sure. It is a very, very well-run show. You feel so looked after, and it's not hard to get there. It's literally especially if you're in New Zealand. It's a plane ride there. You
Yeah.
go into Wellington, drive over. It's so easy. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's right on your backyard. Why wouldn't you go for it? Like, just don't even think about it. Just go. Just do it.
Yeah. And so much time, right? So it's all the way over in November, like there's so much time. So plan it now. Start saving the pennies and all that if you need to, eh?
Yes. Yes.
And then someone said, surely you'll be back in New Zealand to run it back this year for TOC. I think there was a lot of that. And I think, well, I might as well ask you if you're going to do it. You did touch on it before, but I'll just ask you now so you can tell everyone if you're planning on doing TOC at the moment or not.
Not at the moment. It's not a solid plan. I would like to. I definitely would like to. I think there's a lot of variables this year that we kind of like. I need things to fall into place a little bit this year, but for sure the intention. And I would love to. I would absolutely love to if everything lines up 100%.
Hopefully we'll have a yearly one now anyway. So even if it's not this year, maybe it'll be next year. Like hopefully it'll be an annual thing, so we can always.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
look, I very, very much believe in supporting your home ground. The locals show up to your local shows to make it worth it so that I keep putting it on. So I'll always cheer for that. So I definitely, even just solely from that perspective, I very, very much want to, and I would like to. So I hope that things like work out in that way.
Stay tuned, everyone. It's only 1 week into the year, so hopefully you have time to see what happens. But I also want to say loved the brunette. Which did you prefer more on stage? It's probably
First off, thank you. I love it too. I feel so at home at being brunette, honestly. Definitely, I prefer being brunette. Some comments have been made that maybe I should go darker on stage, and I can definitely see that. Like it kind of blends into the tan a little bit, but I don't know. I feel like I want to stay here and I'll get some more feedback. And if that comes up that I should go darker, then sure. But I definitely like the darker look to the blonde. I think the blonde served its time. It was great while it was there. I did love it. But I feel very comfortable and at home being a brunette now.
Love it. I don't think it matched your tan too much. I think it looked great. I think it's just one of those things people are just nitpicking because there's nothing else to say. So they're like, she's perfect. So what can we say about her hair, But I think it looked freaking awesome. Yeah. And it's cool that you like the brunette because your blonde was like your classic, it's like what you think of when you think about you, you got your pro card like that. That's how you started. Yeah. So it's kind of like a new look. It's like a new version of yourself.
Thank you. I honestly really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That means a lot because I do want to stay with this color as well because, in normal life, it's pretty dark.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, and you're in the brunette club now, so you're staying over here.
I will. I'm like, yay, I've been admitted.
Yes, she's in. Someone asked how Australia is treating you because I think maybe they didn't know you'd moved yet because that's just happened. But they asked if there's plans to move home, but I'm guessing probably not.
Not just yet. Goodness. Yeah. Look, who knows what happens in the future at this point? Truly, it feels like a roller coaster. Australia was and will be again for sure. This is not like a whole permanent thing forever and ever here. I can't see that at all. Australia was beautiful. I really got settled very, very much so. I enjoyed the warmth. I enjoyed the ocean. Being able to go for ocean walks multiple times every week, going for a swim. I am petrified of waves, but I have an aspiration and a goal of overcoming that fear and becoming a surfer girl. So stay tuned one day.
One day.
I really, look, I enjoyed it. I built a really beautiful community of friends over there, and I miss them already deeply. I feel like I just settled in very comfortably. So Australia treated me well. The lifestyle is phenomenal. I don't think you can beat it. There are some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So it is a very cool place. It's a very, very cool place.
It's so cool. We've just had another one of our pros are moving over there, Harry, and we've had Akira's over there, and they're all on the Gold Coast. And I'm like, damn, you guys come back, when you want to have kids or something, you better come back. You come home at some point, or come home and compete.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
The lifestyle.
Yeah, it is. It's a very I think it's just it, and New Zealand has got this as well, where people work to live. They don't live to work. You know, they have that mindset. And I think that's mainly because I come from Christchurch, which is beautiful, and we lived there for many, many, many years. But being in the Gold Coast, it was the warmth that I'm like, oh, yes.
Nice.
Just summer is summer, winter is not that cold.
Yeah.
So I thrived because, yeah, look, after many years, the Christchurch weather was like, oh
Yeah.
man. So yeah, I think it's, you go on these drives and you just feel like you're living this beach life. And I think that's where it was for me. I really settled into that life. It was so good.
It's so nice. It's like the Kiwis move over there and we thaw out, don't we? We're like, oh, this is living here. Oh, this is what the temperature is supposed to be. I see. Like, it's so
Yeah.
nice. Like, I spent 9 years or 8 years over there. I think it's good to do, but I just want everyone to remember that their home is New Zealand, because everyone's leaving, and I'm like, don't forget that New Zealand.
100%.
And they won't.
100%.
So
Yeah, but I feel like it's so spread because everybody still has so much family in New Zealand, and you kind of just end up being between the two countries anyway, which is really great. So, no, I agree with you. Like your roots is where your roots are in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, go anywhere, but always come back. Someone asked your pro show bucket list. Like, what
Oh,
are your ideal ones? What are your favorites that you'd like to do?
oh man, that is a very long list.
Yeah.
But okay, so in America, definitely I would love to go do a show in Texas because it just seems like it's a very cool, like a cool production of a show. I really would love to do Janet Layou's Battle of the Bodies, only because when I first started, because she was a skinnier competitor, I hope that makes sense. And where I was at that time of my life being like nothing to me, she was my inspiration. She was like, man, if she can be longer limbed and like, for a lack of a better way to describe it, on that skinnier look, like she isn't short and bubbly. She's taller and like more spread out, but do as good as what she can. That was my inspiration. And then when she put her show on, I'm like, I just want to do that show because of her inspiration. There's the Californian show. Then obviously the big ticket shows. Like I really want to do the New York one. I want to do Chicago. I'd love to go do Miami. Can I do all of them?
Yeah. Arnold. Oh.
I know. Japan is a bucket list for me because I've always wanted to go to Japan. I've never been there. So that is a big, and the production of that show, like I know they've got a few, but there's one that the production is almost like Olympia level, like with the lights and everything. I'm like, I need to do that show so bad. So that's a bucket list. I would like to do Europe. I'm unsure about Europe because the European look is they are more muscular girls. They tend to be on the bigger side. So I don't know if would I get lost there? I don't know, but it's a question mark. But I would like, just for the experience, like imagine you can go and compete in Italy. I mean, just the story in itself. Why not?
Or the Prague Pro, or like Romania.
Yes.
Like, oh, there's so many, and they're all really good, but you're right, they are bigger and sometimes harder as well, a bit more on the leaner side. Like, it's just a crazy, crazy lineup. But who knows, babe? You never know where you'll end up. You never know.
Right?
Who knows?
Right?
Yep, it's exciting.
There's plenty. Oh, 100%. And there are plenty of the American girls that go and compete in Europe anyway. So if you build enough muscle, why not?
Yeah,
and sometimes, again, the experience in itself is enough of a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the whole, like, that's the reason you travel, and that's the reason you get around and see the world and stuff like that. But the Japan Pro too, that would be really cool. And they like this sort of softer, bubbly look, I think. Like Ash K's done it a few times, and she tends to be softer, and they love her, and it's like, it's a cool show. Such a cool show. You guys need to watch that if you can, go watch on YouTube. This is a good question that someone asked, and this never gets asked enough, but how do you take care of your mental health?
Oh,
We kind of went through it, but I want to know more.
Yeah. So we definitely, I think we went into that a little bit in the earlier of the show. But yeah, look, I think being okay with being by yourself
Mm.
and not distracting, not using social media and not using life or work or any of that stuff to distract yourself from just literally sitting with yourself a little bit, listening to that inner voice, not being so critical of it, not being so harsh of it, um, learning to be kinder and more gentle to yourself, and actually just um, sitting with those uncomfortable feelings. I think for that makes, yeah, that makes a huge difference. And then environment, the people that you surround yourself with, and your close circle of friends, those and family. But I think being selective of the people that you, because there's different layers, right? Of your very close people, and then the people outside of that, and people outside of that. Picking those core fundamental ones, I think, is huge. And having a place where you're safe, and knowing who you can trust, and having that connection where they can trust you, you can trust them, and there's no judgment there, there's no fear of like criticism or any of that, and you can just be safe. I think is one of the most invaluable. And even if you just have one person that is that, you're rich for it. And I think, like, hold on to them with everything you have, because it's key. I think it's key. Going through this life by yourself is very hard, or just at least in your own head,
Yeah.
and feeling like you can't actually communicate with others. We drive ourselves insane. I think, especially as females, we need to blab. So
Yes.
find somebody that you can blab with, and protect them and love them and hold them close. I think that makes a really big difference.
Yeah, I think that's so true, babe. And it kind of works hand in hand with like sort of the journaling and getting things out, because you're kind of self-auditing when you do that, and then you can audit the relationships you have around you and to see if they're actually serving you, and vice versa. And I think both of those things go together really well, and that just shows how far I guess how far you've come, and how like content you are with where you're at. And I guess that is kind of how you feel at the moment, is it? I'm getting that from you. You feel pretty content and happy.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. There's a lot of things up in the air with the
Yeah.
move and with things that's happening, but amongst all of sometimes chaos, but not always, but sometimes it feels very chaotic. But I think in the midst of all of that, we can still be happy and content with the journey. And that's not always, like, some days you have really bad days and you're like complete mental breakdown. You're like, wow. But you can bring yourself back, and you can be
Yeah.
like, big picture things, like opportunities. Let's look at the positive of life, because there is so much that is so negative and harsh about this world. We can choose to go and view those little things that make us happy and try to push into that.
Yes.
And like, competing can be part of that. It's, in the end, it is also just a hobby. A hobby, but like, I think sometimes we can have this mentality where bodybuilding and this life, we take it so seriously that we lose the joy of it, because we make it into this big thing. And in the end, it's actually not that serious. It's just a show. It's just bodybuilding. It's a phase of life. It's something that we do, but it's not life. There's other things. There's a career, there's family, there's relationships. All of these things are just as valuable, and to lose sight of that, I think, is a big disservice to us. Like, we need, like, actually have this wonderful thing that people talk about, that's balance.
Yes.
Somehow.
It's so hard to find. Where is it hiding? I don't know what it
Yeah.
is, but I totally agree with you on that. And a lot of people say that they're just all in with bodybuilding. It's like it's their identity, it's everything. And I get it. I get it. I know, like, probably Derek Lunsford, that probably is his life, and if you want to be him,
Yeah.
totally get that. But there's more. to your life than just that. And if you lose everything else, what happens if you get injured and you can't be a bodybuilder? There's nothing left, you know. It's not, I think you say bodybuilding is what you do, it's not who you are. And I think that's kind of like a good way to think about it. It's just part of your life, right? It's part of who we are.
Yeah.
The rest of it is so much more important too. And I really love that. They kind of like mental health leads me to the next question. Someone asked, what podcasts and like books do you read and what do you consume, like in terms of like, you know, podcasts and stuff like that?
Oh, obviously this one.
Yeah.
So come on, like obviously, you know, I used to read a lot of books like business development and self-development and all of that stuff. I used to read all of them. This year, I got very much into reading just stories. And the reason for it is because like it was so busy and full on with studies and work and blah 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 blah. Like I kind of just wanted this little pocket of thing where I can rest my mind. I can just kind of get lost in a story and you know go into that little world and just rest. Just let my brain rest and not learn something and not think about something. Like actually just be calm. So I've been so fully into it, honestly. All of the fairy nonsense that you can possibly read, I have been knee deep into it, and I am not even ashamed of it. It's phenomenal. So yeah, look, I've been into that a lot. What do I consume? I've been listening. Lately I've been into John Jewett's stuff. I've actually bought one of his courses as well, and I'm working through that. Really loving it. Like it's so juicy, just like the deeper inner bodybuilding stuff of it, the mechanics of it, like that really deep dive into it. Been loving that. And just watching his YouTube stuff as well. I think is very educational. I really enjoy it. Like he's quite direct, but he gives like you can feel the information that he gives is like there's no nonsense about it. Like it's tested, it's researched, but it's also coming from experience as a bodybuilder, as a coach, all of that stuff. So very much enjoying that. And that's kind of it for the moment because I'm still so like I'm busy with all the things. So you kind of, you know, like you take these little times where you have and then yeah, that was not such an in-depth answer to that question. I'm sorry.
Oh, that makes sense. You don't even have time. As soon as I asked it, I was like, wait a minute, how's she gonna read or listen to anything except for like studying, you know, prepping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But maybe I wanted to ask you like what because obviously at the gym you must listen to music, right? Because I would have no idea what you listen to. I was trying to think about, I was like, oh, like drum and bass, like what does Christel listen to? Like gospel music? I have no idea. Like what do you listen to at the gym? Do you listen to music at the gym, and what genre is your favorite?
That is oh my gosh. It really depends on my mood. I swing if you listened. So I use just YouTube music. I know. I mentioned this to somebody else and they're like, what do you mean? Why do you not use Spotify? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. Anyway, so maybe apparently, I'm very old school for just being on YouTube music, and I'm like, really? Anyway, if you listen to my playlist, you would get a whiplash of the most calm, like country to literally corn and like metal and then everything in between, like from dance to like just calm poppy. Crazy. A little bit of like rap here and there maybe. It is extremely diverse. Genuinely, and it all depends on my mood because some days I show up and I'm mad and I need to listen to something like Let's Go, and then other days I'm like I'm in my feminine girly side and I just need to listen to something calm and beautiful.
Yeah. Whatever works on the day. Whatever works.
Oh my word. And I feel like it comes into how we dress as well when we go to gym, honestly, because some days you're like, I need the baggiest t-shirt with a hat and feel completely like, let me just be in this little zone and let me brew on stuff. And then other days you're like, let me have the cutest little outfit and be like, You know what
It's
I
so
mean?
true. So the guys will have no idea what we're talking about, but the girls know. The girls know exactly what we're
100%.
saying. I love it.
There's like,
I'm in a bit of not a metal, but a rock era, so similar sort of because I've been
yes,
doing like the
yes.
I don't know the G music for a while, the drum and bass. I'm like I'm bored of that, so I'm kind of going back to like Papa Roach, like
Oh,
old school Linkin
yes.
Park, and like it's so fun. I love it.
100%. Oh, like good 90s stuff. Like
Yes, 90s.
that kind of, oh, I
Yeah.
miss it so much. I've been so into it as well. That is amazing that you're feeling it as well. I feel, oh, I love that.
It gets you going because it's kind of like throwbacks and you haven't listened to them for so long that they're kind of cool again and like they get you fucking pumped up and it's, I don't know, it just works. Whatever
Right.
works. Whatever works.
Oh, the amount of times, like Linkin Park,
Yeah.
Korn,
Can't
the
even
other
think.
one.
Disturbed.
I have the picture of it. Yes. Honestly, I don't even drink pre-workout. I just listen to these songs on my way
Yes.
to the gym, and by the time I get to the gym, I am so hyped that I'm like, let's go.
Get out of my
Yes.
way.
I know.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, which does
okay.
mean that you get to the gym really fast because you just end up driving to your music and you're like, I need to calm down.
Yeah, road rage and oh my gosh, calm down. Yeah, but save it for the gym. Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's been so good to chat, babe. It's been so nice to catch up again and to see how your last year was. Have you got any sort of new sponsors or anything in the last year, or who are you working with? Anyone at the moment?
Nobody at the moment. I'm cruising by myself. So I probably should do something about that. But honestly, just cruising by myself at the moment. Um, yeah.
But who knows what Dubai will bring though? You might meet people there. They might bring some new opportunity. Like you're a pro, so people like love jumping on that usually.
Yeah, right. Like there's so many opportunities and things like that could right be around the corner. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how things go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm very like content and happy just working on what I'm doing here and trying to just get through the studies, get my qualification. I've got some plans of other things that I want to do, like opening my own business for this year coming up that I'm working on a little bit on the background, so stay tuned.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So yeah, like
Yeah.
it's sometimes it's nice to just stay in your lane and you're kind of like
Yep.
you can focus on the things right in front of you.
Mhm.
But then opportunities present themselves and then you go you go down the road, hence why we're in Dubai.
Yeah, yeah, you never know what's around the corner. Just got to ride the wave. I love
Yeah.
that. So, and so you might be done with your studies this year. Is your last year, or how much longer have you got?
Yes.
Last year.
Yes. So I'll be done at the mid of this year. I've actually switched to full time.
Cool.
So, which will be good. Kind of just bust it out and get it done with. Which I'm very excited to get it done because man, it has been like so. It's been such a cool thing to study. It's been full on, but it's so cool. Like it's just fascinating. I love everything to do with health and medical and the body, just like the human body in itself, which I think is why I love bodybuilding as well. And like everything from nutrition and the science and like the behind why things work the way they do. I'm like, I cannot get enough of it.
Yeah, I love that. And then when you're done, what are you going to do? Are you going to jump straight into your field, or are you going to take some time and obviously find work, or are you going to take a break for the rest of the year and just like soak it up? What are you thinking about doing when you're done?
That is a good question. So with being here, would love to go and work here as well. I'm going to take some time to figure out exactly qualification wise, if I can use what I have and get in with that here, or would I need to do a bridging course? Would I need to do further studying? I am not sure. So that's for sure. Like while we're here, figure that out. I would like to try and get some sort of job or work here, hopefully soon. I'm kind of just on the ground trying to find my feet and like figure out like just organize myself. So that would be really great. But yeah, I would love to work. The hospital systems here seem amazing from what I've seen online. It looks like it's a whole nother level. So that might be a really incredible experience. So I hope I can do that. We'll see. Somebody mentioned before that because I'm studying as an enrolled nurse and that I may need more than that to work in the hospital system here, but I don't know for sure. I'm going to have to go talk to like proper, so we'll figure that out. At the moment, it's honestly blinkers on, building muscle, finishing course, and then we'll figure out the rest.
It's so exciting, mate. So many things that have happened already for you, and then another big year coming up as well. I'm so excited for you. And I would love to get you back on whenever you decide to prep again, whether that be this end of this year or next year, whenever it happens. There's no pressure from over here, but I'd love to get you back on. Would you love to jump back on whenever that might be?
Amazing. And then we can have a chat about the shows and all of the stuff. It would be so, yeah, please have it. It would be real fun. Thank you. Thank you for having me for this show as well. It's so cool that we've done this 3 times now. It's been like, it's really cool to catch up with you. And you do so well running this like podcast as well with your interview. Like, you are fantastic at this. So thank you for having me. It's always a great time with you. So appreciate you.
Oh, thank you so much. We've done a trilogy now. We've done our 1, 2, 3 episodes, and anything is a bonus from here. So that's so exciting. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, mate. And thank you everyone for listening and what we're watching. Don't forget to go follow Christel on Instagram. Her link will be in the bio and description there. Just to see whatever she gets up to next. Who knows where she'll end up? We'll just have to wait and see. But we know she'll be back. It'll just be a matter of time. So very excited for whenever you get back up there again, babe. I can't wait to see all the new muscle you're building at the moment. And just hoping that your health goes well and everything goes smooth this year. And we'll catch up a little bit later. But thank you again.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me. And thank you to everyone else as well that has stayed tuned and listened to the end here. Appreciate you so much as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff and help us with the YouTube and all that. And we'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
See you. Bye.